Today we're going to talk about Thingspace. It's a platform that Verizon has developed to connect sensors and devices and collect data, and not only monitor devices and manage devices, but also create a marketplace for developers and partners to come in and add their application into Thingspace. What we want to really do in the next 10-15 minutes that we have together is really focused on creating an IoT application, very simply, very easily. But before I do that, I just want to give you a quick overview of what Thingspace is. Again, Thingspace, as you know, is an IoT platform, but there are three main areas within Thingspace. One is Thingspace Develop. This is where the RESTful APIs are. This is where the developer community can come in and start creating applications and use the RESTful APIs and the dashboards that we have for creating IoT application. Then we have the Thingspace Manage. This is an area where if you have hundreds or thousands or hundreds of thousands of devices that you have deployed on cellular connectivity, you can go there to manage that connectivity and also manage the devices that are deployed on your network. So you can do things like, I want to see how many devices are out there that I'm managing, how do I activate those devices, how do I deactivate, how do I see how much data is being utilized by each one of these devices, and then can I set thresholds that if there is too much data that is being consumed, I can set limits. So earlier in the morning, you heard one of the presenters talked about, somebody took out the SIM card, went overseas and started consuming a lot of cellular connectivity, and as a result, there was a huge bill at the end. So something like Thingspace Manage will help you essentially manage that connectivity and devices. The other piece is the Thingspace Market. This is a marketplace for developers to come in. Right now it's in the form of a showcase, but you're going to see more and more capabilities from our partners and from developer community to come in and post their applications in there. So before we dive into the Thingspace demonstration, I wanted to give you a high-level overview of kind of how this architecture really works. So on the left side, you have devices, sensors that is connected through some sort of connectivity. Now, it could be Verizon connectivity, and we would obviously love it, but we do realize that not everyone uses Verizon connectivity. So it could be through Wi-Fi connectivity, it could be other cellular carriers, it could be wired connectivity. So any type of connectivity that will allow you to take the data from point A to point B, Thingspace can ingest that data into the platform. And then, of course, once we have that in the platform, this is where the Thingspace Develop and Manage comes in. We're able to manage the connectivity, manage the devices, and do the reporting and analytics and the dashboards to really see the sensor data that's coming in and be able to manage your IoT solution deployment. And then we're exposing those APIs to other Verizon solutions, as well as to our partners and developer community. So for example, we're big into smart cities area. So smart lighting, we acquired a company called Sensity and Liquid Wi-Fi just in the last few months. And so some of that data is being ingested into Thingspace, and this is where you monitor and manage some of those capabilities. Ingested into Thingspace, and this is where you monitor and manage some of those capabilities. And then we were at South by Southwest a couple of weeks ago, right here in Austin. We were exposing our RESTful APIs to the developers to create this new and innovative solutions to for the IoT area. So with that, let's go and switch a little bit and talk about a demonstration about Thingspace. And I'll go through the website. I just wanted to give you a quick overview in terms of what we're going to do in this demo. Typically, for us to create an IoT solution, you need the sensors, the gateway, the connectivity, and then a platform to ingest that data and then make that data actionable and basically turn that information into actionable information, or turn that data into information that's actionable. Typically, we use like TI's Launchpad, right? We would use a dev kit like this. Or we also have Renaissance IoT Enabler Kit. We would use something like this because this has a bunch of sensors sensors already embedded in there. You can put a cellular module on top of it, and now you have sensor data that's coming in into the Thingspace platform. Now, today, for our demonstration, we're actually going to use something really simple called smartphone. You guys have one of these? So actually, most people don't realize this, but a bunch of sensors are already built into it. Like your location, so latitude and longitude, like your accelerometer, so you can kind of see how fast you're going or how things are turning. So what we're going to do is take the data that is in your typical smartphone and move that data from your smartphone over the cellular connectivity, or it could be Wi-Fi, into Thingspace. And you're going to see how we can easily and quickly create an IoT solution. So why don't we switch gears a little bit and go into Thingspace. So this is the Thingspace website. First of all, the registration is very easy. All you need to do is a username, an email address, and a password, and you're off to the races. So no charges, no credit card, no nothing. You just go in and register. It literally takes 30 seconds. And since I work for Verizon and I have already registered it, I am going to sign into Thingspace. So now, as you can see, I'm logged into Thingspace. Within Thingspace, I talked about RESTful APIs, so a bunch of different APIs are available right off the bat. Obviously, the bread and butter is the connectivity management API. This allows you to activate, deactivate, try to see how many devices I'm managing, what the data consumption looks like. Can I group them into different groups? Can I send alerts if a certain threshold is met? All those APIs are listed here. Then there's the device messaging APIs, and we're going to use that today to take the data from a regular smartphone into Thingspace. We have personal cloud. This is a great way for you to store typically your video or photographs. You can get it stored. We were at TechCrunch Disrupt in San Francisco a couple of, it's been about 6 months ago. And there was one particular team. They came up with a hack, similar to how you were describing about house flooding. They took one of these kits, which had a camera in it, and they started looking at the flood sensors or humidity sensor and looking at the temperature sensor, and created a hack where you can put a device, a small device like this, into your home, and if a certain threshold is met, like for example, if your temperature went really high, it will send a message out to you saying, hey, your house is on fire, right? Because the temperature has gone beyond a certain threshold. It'll take a picture of that, store it in the personal cloud, and now you have a record of what your house used to look like. So it's just an ingenious way for you to use the photographs and other videos and store that in the cloud. SMS, we talked about that previously as well. SMS is a great way to send alert. We make those APIs available. And then last but not least, we have MapQuest APIs. Now, many of you guys are probably scratching your head, like, where did we get MapQuest from? So in case you're not aware, we have acquired a company called AOL. And AOL, a part of AOL was the MapQuest. So their location-based geospatial location information and their APIs is available through Thingspace. And we have folks from MapQuest in our booth, so do stop by, take a look at some of the capabilities that they bring to the table. And now, why don't we go into what we call the freeboard, or dashboard. This allows us to create a dashboard for collecting sensor data and turn it into a visual dashboard. So I'm going to create a new dashboard called IoT Enterprise Summit. And basically what I'm going to do is I am going to take this, the smartphone I have into, and I'll show you kind of what I'm doing here. So going back to the API, you see this try it now functionality. This essentially what it does is it enables you to give a name to your machine. So in my smartphone, for example, it gives a name saying unique garden. That's the name of this smartphone. In this case, on my PC, is Marvelous Rain. So these are randomly assigned names, but the idea is that the platform itself should be able to identify each individual device. So each individual device gets a random name, and that's how the dashboard knows where the sensor data is coming from. So in my case, I'm going to go in and say, OK, this is my smartphone. Oops. Smartphone. And let's give it a name. And in this case, my name is Unique Garden. OK. So now you can see the last updated is 501.44. Essentially, the platform itself has connected to this device right now, and the data is being sent. Now, how do we make this data actionable? What we do is we go in here and say, OK, for example, I want to know what the location of this place is. So we go in, data source, smartphone, give me the latitude and longitude. I go there, add a latitude and longitude for the smartphone. And of course, there it is. Whew. We're in Austin, in case you guys didn't realize. As you can see, now we know where we are, and you can actually zoom in, and it'll tell you, hey, we're at the Long Center for the Performing Arts. And so this is a great way to get some of the sensor data into the platform. Let's do another one. For example, I want to look at the accelerometer information that's coming in from my smartphone. So I can go in and I say, OK, give me a spark line, and give me the x-axis and y-axis of this particular tilt x, tilt y, which is essentially your accelerometer information. And you can see how easy it is to add that information. And you'll see that data coming in. So now as I move this particular phone, that accelerometer data is coming back here, and you can see it in action. Now, this is we literally took, what, 5 minutes, maybe 3 minutes, to develop a very rudimentary concept of getting sensor data, putting it into the dashboard, and making it actionable. So what do we do with this on a more, can we do more than this? So let's take a look. For example, I'm going to go in. These are a bunch of my, I will go here. And I can go unique garden. Oops, need to learn how to type. Unique garden set. You see, oops, it doesn't show. As you can see, a lot more data is being collected here. And not only you can make it one way. And I'm not able to scroll here for some reason. Yeah, there it is. So not only we're able to get the data one way, coming in from the sensor, from the smartphone, out to the Thingspace dashboard, but we can make it where the information goes both ways. So for example, I was with Girl Scouts of America. They wanted to have a better understanding of the capabilities of Thingspace and be in the STEM area. So we could build them a small little dashboard, and we said, OK, you know what? You guys sell a lot of cookies. So what if we were to put a sensor like this, and so you can track your cookie boxes, and you can get that information in real time. And not only that, what if we were able to put some limits in it that says, OK, if the x-axis, accelerometer, somebody really shakes the cookie boxes, you don't want those cookies to be crumbled. And now it sends, so when I shake it, it goes in and says, oops, your cookies have been crumbled. Now, it's a small a demo of what the capabilities are, making sure the conversation is going both ways. And what I want to give you an overview of is what real developers are doing with Thingspace. So take a look at this video on what these developers are doing.
We provide a web-based online platform for over 3,400 luxury residential properties in New York. Our goal is to create data that can improve the day-to-day flow of a building. We are piloting what we call our Aware FC Fitness Center solution at a large 300-unit luxury residential property.
This is one of our Aware sensors at our pilot building. It's using sonar technology and using a threshold that we've predefined. As you come closer, the light will go from green to red, indicating the person is currently using this machine. Both the resident and management is going to be able to see this on a phone, a tablet, or a laptop using the Thingspace dashboard.
We're a 10-acre farm in North Falmouth and Megansett Harbor, and we farm oysters, bay scallops, and quahogs. Because shellfish are filter feeders, they gain all of their food from the environment naturally. So therefore, we're even more reliant on what nature gives us than maybe other forms of agriculture. This is the sensor we installed as a prototype. It has both regular video as well as thermal imaging. Thermal data that's collected by the camera can be integrated with publicly available data sources such as chlorophyll information, which allows me to know how much food is in the water and what stocking densities I can be growing my shellfish at. I'm not a developer, and while I knew I wanted real-time data solution, I didn't even know where to start. Verizon Thingspace was really helpful because it allowed me to integrate this sensor very quickly and get it up and running within an hour.
When we looked at all the different options, Thingspace really did fit the bill perfectly for our prototyping and testing.
We're testing 5 different types of sensors, 10 different types of applications, and it's just a mosh pit of creativity. Thingspace really allows us to not only focus on what we need to focus on, but it saves us the needed time to test those applications out.
Time is really of the essence, and Thingspace lets us run our experiments, get actionable data, and make decisions very, very quickly.
So now you got a flavor of what are some of the capabilities of Thingspace. We were in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, at another event roughly about 2 months ago. And we actually did one of the first demo of Thingspace working with the Cat M1 deployment on a live network. So our Cat M1 deployment, we were the first one to deploy that. You're going to see more nationwide deployment in the next few weeks. You're going to see some announcements coming from Verizon. So you can see Thingspace, Cat M1, all these new cool things and new innovative ideas that all you guys and the developer communities are coming up around Thingspace. So make sure you go register at Thingspace. And with that, I think I'm out of time. So I'll take questions if you guys have any.
Do you have any questions for Uzair? Okay.
No? Okay. Thank you.
I'm sure he'll be around later. That was great. Thank you so much, Uzair.